Hello everyone, welcome back to Linkside 201. Today we are going to talk about semantics. Set 6.1 is the introduction. Okay. So far we have looked at all the bits that make up words, sounds, and sentences. Now we are going to look at something a little bit deeper, which is meaning. Okay. So we are going to talk about semantics. Semantics is a subdiscipline of linguistics that have many layers. It's primarily defined as the study of meaning. But you have to know semantics is actually very, very complicated. The study of linguistics meaning is not just about what words or sentences mean, but also about the nature of concepts and understanding. So there are a great deal of overlap with other disciplines as well, such as philosophy, psychology, and math. Okay. And there are three different subfields of semantics. The first one is lexical semantics, which is about the meaning of words. And then we have sentential semantics, the meaning of phrases and sentences. And then we have pragmatics, the study of language meaning in social context. So this is the smallest field, and a little bit bigger we're going to talk about sentence, and then we're going to put sentence into a social context, right? Small, a little bit bigger, much bigger. But in this lecture, we're going to focus on lexical and sentential semantics only. Okay, we are not going to talk about pragmatics. Our semantics knowledge includes the following items, okay? Whether a sentence is meaningful or not, whether a word has multiple meanings, or two words have the same meaning, okay? Same for the sentence, whether a sentence has multiple meanings, or two sentences have the same meaning. And then we know the relation between two sentences, whether two sentences have the same or opposite meanings. And then we know the relation of the words, the sound uh, to this world, to the real world object. Right? You know, John loves unicorns. You know, unicorns is not a real world object. Okay. And you also know the truth value of a sentence, whether sentence is true or false. And you also know whether words or sentences are related. And you also know that whether a sentence means exactly what the words mean or something more, right? So there are some idiomatic meaning, right? Mary let the cat out of the bag. It's not a literal meaning. Okay? You know how to interpret the meaning of a phrase or sentence when, even when it is not complete. Actually, this is a very interesting property of human language. There are a lot of redundant information, right? So, for example, I didn't intentionally I left out this word. She wasn't going to let go of the problem. Like with a bone, you know this blank must be dog, right? I can't believe my something when I saw this person, right? It must be eyes, right? And you know what this blank should be, right? So the very interesting question is that how do we know all this? What is the nature of meaning? I don't have an answer. Okay. And this is a misconception that some people think that the word meaning just the dictionary meaning. This is not true. Okay, word meaning is not the dictionary meaning. So the diction the disadvantage of the dictionary meaning is that you will be circular, right? So for example, if you want to try to define this word, then you are going to use this word, another word to define this meaning. And you have to, and then what is the meaning of this one? Then we have to use another meaning, another word to define this guy, right? And it goes on and on. So if you try to use the dictionary meaning to define the meaning of some word, you are going to have a circular problem. Okay. And there are other problems as well in addition to the circularity. So the first problem is that the dictionary meaning is limited. There are some words which are not in the dictionary, but they still have meaning, right? And the dictionary does not include the speaker's intention. And the dictionary is not really about the nature of our language knowledge, because we have to be able to read to have an access to the dictionary meaning. But way before we are able to read, we already have a lot of semantics knowledge already. Okay, now we are going to talk about semantic relations. As we mentioned before, we are going to talk about lexical relations and sentential relations only. Okay. Okay, let's begin with the lexical relations, meaning relations among words. Okay. Synonymy and autonomy. So, synonyms are words that have the same meaning. For example, nice, kind. On the other hand, we have antonyms as well, words that have an opposite meaning. For example, nice, mean. Okay, smart, stupid. Okay. And there are three subcategories of the of autonomy. Okay, complementary, gradable, and relational antonyms. Okay, so complementary antonyms means that if one is true, then the other cannot be true. For example, if you say some entity is alive, then the same entity cannot be dead at the same time. It means that these two meanings are in complementary distribution. Another example, present, absent, right? And then we have gradable antonyms. Um, for gradable antonyms, we have the meanings that are related to the object they modify. For example, big and small, they are relative to the object they modify. For example, a big mouse is much smaller than a small elephant, right? So we have a small elephant and we have a big rodent. Still, a small elephant is much bigger, right? And pair of gradable antonyms usually have an unmarked member, right? So for example, you have tall and short. They are gradable, right? And if you want to use them in a question, you are going to use tall, right? How tall is Mike instead of how short is Mike. Okay. And then we have relational antonyms as well. the meanings of which are symmetric. For example, like give, receive, buy, sell. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about homonymy and polysemy. Homonyms are words that are pronounced the same but have different and unrelated meanings. Here are some examples like hair, pig, and sometimes they are the same in the written system as well. Okay, and in this case, we are going to have a lexical ambiguity, which means that um, we cannot distinguish the meaning because the same sound or the same word has multiple meanings. Okay, and then we have polysemous words, which are pronounced the same but have related meanings. Okay, related. For example, like guard, to watch over, or a watchman, a diamond shape, or baseball field. Okay. Then the final one, hyponymy and meronymy. Okay. Hyponyms are words in a class-subclass relationship. For example, table, chair, sofa are hyponyms of furniture. Okay. These two examples shows the other two examples show the same point. Okay. On the other hand, with meronyms are words that are in part whole relationship. For example, finger is part of a hand, a tail is part of a rabbit. Okay. So the bottom line is when you know what something means, you also know how it relates to other words, even if you were never explicitly taught the information. Okay. Another example, you know that hand includes the notion of finger and vice versa, whereas giving someone a hand versus giving someone a finger does not mean the same reciprocal relationship, right? So this is another question that we cannot answer right now. Okay, now let's talk about sentential relations, meaning relationship among sentences. Okay, paraphrase and entailment. Okay, paraphrase is that one sentence is a paraphrase of another if they are synonymous. Okay, so here are two examples. Okay, on the other hand, we have entailment as well. So entailment means that um, one sentence entails another if the truth of one guarantees the truth of the other. In logic, we can use this if P then Q. Okay, so Fred is bachelor entails that Fred does not have a wife. So the truth of this sentence guarantees the truth of this one, right? So this will entail this. Okay. Another example, Becky lives in Istanbul. Okay. The truth of this sentence guarantees the truth of this one. Becky lives in Turkey, right? So this will entail this. Okay. And the final example shows the same point. Okay. And then another sentential relations, contradiction, anonymy. Okay, contradiction means that the truth condition of two sentences are contradictory. Okay. So for example, Sue is single contradicts that Sue is married, right? Okay. And then let's talk about anonymy. A sentence is anonymous if it has no literal meanings. We have some examples here. But think about why do we have some anonymous sentences? Okay. Um, when we have a non-literal interpretation, because they are non-literal interpretations of the autonomous sentences. In that case, they become metaphors. Okay, that's it for today, and remember to finish the in-class exercise. Thank you.